she's in palliative care for it. Just never called to the facility. Got some IV access going.
There's nothing left to say. There's just a perfect day for us to use. There's nothing else to see. No better place to be. Now that you're here with me, and I'm with you. Why don't we wait here? I just wanna stay here.
I saw a patient this morning with that name.
Why don't we
Is the pain
wait
starting to subside?
here? Now.
Bed management, Michelle speaking.
Okay.
What's the patient's name? McIntyre? All right, that's a compassionate bed. Let me see what I can do.
You guys need help? Follow this hallway down there and follow the signs to Robbinsfield.
So please don't move an inch. Don't ever change a thing. Just let me take this in and hold it tight. Why don't we wait here now?
We grew up together,
Why don't we wait?
and we'll die together.
I just wanna stay here. Why don't we wait here now?
Hello, my name is Brandon Varga, and I'd like to tell you about my wife, my best friend in the world, the love of my life, and the mother of our 4 children. Her name's Kristy Varga, and in mid-November of 2023, she was 41 years old, and she became sick. She was having difficulty breathing, and so I took her to our local community hospital, where she was very quickly transferred from the emergency room to the ICU. She was diagnosed with bilateral pneumonia, acute respiratory distress syndrome, and they informed me that her body was in a state of septic shock. Her other organs were beginning to shut down. The great people at that hospital worked very hard and did everything they could to restore her health. But after fighting for over a week, she continued to deteriorate. And so we negotiated for a transfer to UCI Medical Center, where she was put on one of the most advanced forms of life support called ECMO. And they informed me that it would not heal her. It would eventually kill her, but that it was going to buy her time. And they told me the only 2 ways she was going to survive would be if she either began to improve and heal on her own with all the treatment she was receiving, or she was going to need a lung transplant. I found out the only way either one of those 2 things could happen would be if she was able to wake up, was able to begin moving, was able to regain her strength and begin walking. At that point, she had been unconscious and not moving for over 3 weeks, and the muscular atrophy throughout her body was extreme. She wasn't able to raise her arm or even lift a finger. And so I asked them to reduce the sedatives and reduce the pain medication so we could wake her up and we could start getting her moving. When we did that, it was incredibly uncomfortable for her. It felt as if she was drowning and she was in a lot of pain. And I couldn't even get them to send a physical therapist to help because they didn't want to send a physical therapist to a patient in that condition. So I was with her every day. I would massage her body. I would move her arms and her legs, trying to improve circulation. I would try and get her to move her hands and her feet. And eventually we did. We got her to move her hands. We got her to move her feet. I worked with her and got her stronger and stronger until eventually they were willing to send a physical therapist, an occupational therapist. And she hated every minute of it because it was so uncomfortable, but she continued to fight. Eventually we got her raising her arms. We got her to sit up. We even got her to stand momentarily with a lot of help. Several more weeks passed and it became evident her lungs were not getting any better. And they believed her only hope was a lung transplant. And they told me that she was an excellent candidate because she was young. Her other organs were doing really well at that point. She had an average sized body. She had a blood type that wasn't too difficult to match. She had so much going for her. The only thing that she was missing is they needed her to get stronger. They told me she's going to have to walk 150 feet to show them that she was strong enough to survive. At a UCI Medical Center, they don't do lung transplants, so we had to work on getting her transferred again. I never knew how difficult it is to actually get a transfer approved in a situation like this, but I began working with the medical staff with friends and family, any contact I could get a hold of to try and make this happen. And we actually established a connection at UCSD where they do lung transplants, and they accepted her. But our insurance company was holding up the process. They weren't allowing the transfer. They weren't convinced that it was necessary at that point. And that's when I reached out to ERN. And the amazing staff there immediately got involved. And within 48 hours, the transfer was approved. And my wife was able to go to UCSD, where they did a full workup. And we continued to work and fight to get her stronger. Eventually, we got to the point where she started taking some steps on her own. One day she walked 20 feet. Another day she walked 40. She continued to have ups and downs, but no matter how uncomfortable it was, she continued to fight. One morning, her physical therapist and I were getting ready for our day, and we asked her, "What are you going to do today, Kristy?" She said, "I'm going to walk 150 feet today." And she stood up and she walked 153 feet that day. She did exactly what we asked. The next day, they were going to be making their decision about whether or not they were going to give her new lungs. And I said, "Babe, we got to show them that yesterday was no fluke. We got to show them that you're continuing to improve. You're getting stronger. You can do this. That you're worth investing these lungs in." And she did not like that I was pushing her to walk even further. But she stood up and she walked 174 feet that day. And all of the halls erupted into cheers. She had won over everyone in the entire ICU, and everyone was rooting for her. Unfortunately, the next day, they denied her the lung transplant. And on January 11th, I had to say goodbye to the love of my life. But I am so grateful to ERN that in our most desperate hour, without knowing us, without having any benefit for yourself, that you showed up and you gave her every opportunity. And for that, we will be forever grateful. Thank you.
There's a hero if you look inside your heart. You don't have to be afraid of what you are. There's an answer if you reach into your soul, and the sorrow that you know will melt away. And then a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, and you cast your fears aside, and you know you can survive. So when you feel like
There you go.
On the good ship, lollipop, it's a sweet
trip to the candy shop where bonbons play. Hold on, it's Allie.
Yay!
Long road, and you face the world alone. No one reaches out a hand for you to hold. You can find love if you search within yourself, and the emptiness you felt will disappear. And a hero comes along
Great job, babe.
with the strength to
Looking good.
and you cast your fears aside, and
So good.
you can survive when you feel
Great job, babe.